Just give me, just give me a headache, you know. Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to the next movie review. I'm back to reviewing another shitty Steven Seagal. So far, as of right now, this has been the worst. I mean, I don't know where to start. A lot of this stuff, I'm like, you can't even make this up, you know. Wait, the stuff in this one, you can't even make up. I swear. Like I said, if you can check out my reviews. I decided to do some reviewing of Steven Seagal's shitty direct-to-video movies. You know, although to be fair, there has been quite a few that I have liked. You know, but that's like 99% of the movies I saw were shit. So that's only 1%. Doesn't make it for every single one that I've seen that have been absolute shit upon shit upon shit. If you don't, and let's say all the stuff like you've seen, you can't even make up. Like I said, if you haven't seen any of these Seagal direct-to-video movies, please feel free to watch them. You know, I'm not making this all this silly stuff that I've seen. You can't even make up, and this is even further proves because okay, Out of Reach from 2004. This as far I've seen as of now has been the worst. And especially when the usage of dubbing is used so much more recent than all of the previous ones. This one uses like the most dubbing I've seen. Out of Reach, yeah. Keep this out of your reach and never see this movie again. Once again, it's another one starring Steven Seagal. It's directed by a guy named Po-Chih Leong. I don't know who this guy is. Steven Seagal and no other cast I recognize except for the villain of this movie, which is right here. Is played by a guy by the name of Matt Schulze. For those of you remember, he was the bad guy in the first Transporter film with Jason Statham. Which I like the first Transporter. I even like the second film too as well. But the first Transporter, where he was the bad guy in that film, he was good in that movie as a bad guy in that. Here in this, no, he wasn't. Matt Schulze was horrible in this film. And Steven Seagal, he's just far worse. You know, it's just how far. This is how far down the toilet he has gone now. Like I said. And like I said, the usage of dubbing, or what is it called, ADR, is so used so frequently all through this whole movie, you know. And which is clearly not even his voice, okay. Even use of his stunt doubles as well, you can clearly know that's not him. And, you know, it's just... You know, like I said before, it's absolute torture just watching these shitty direct-to-video Steven Seagal films, you know. But at the same time, you know, but you know what? More fun rants for you guys, you know, that's the thing. So, yeah. But yeah, more fun rants, because I like doing, you like my rants, I'm sure that's why I do this, because, you know, because I'm sure you guys enjoyed watching my rants. But anyway, getting to the movie itself, Steven Seagal, he's a guy he's not CIA this time, he's like a covert agent working for the CSA. And you know, for the one thing automatically I see wrong with this picture here is that Steven Seagal is what, in his 50s maybe? By this time, 50, 51 maybe? He has an online pen pal friend. And thing is, though, how old is she? She's 13. So, 50-year-old Fat Seagal is friends as a pen pal friend named... I don't care what the girl's name, but yes, she has a pen pal name. She's a pen pal. I'm like, okay. I mean, I know there's a thing, because also the plot of this film is dealing with, trafficking women. This is 4 years before the Taken movie, the first Taken film took place, but this takes human trafficking. Thing is, though, As of course, there was a time during like back then. There was a time when where Steven Seagal was accused of all of these things with women. You know, I don't know if it's true or not because I wasn't there, so I can't really say anything about that though. But that was like one of the accusations. And now he has a pen pal who's 13 years old. So it's in a weird way. It's kind of like Taken. Well, this is the 4 years before Taken, you know. So and then eventually, the bad guys because knowing about the whole thing that I forget how to go find out though. But eventually, they take the pen pal girl, right? The bad guy, Matt Schulze does, and Seagal. I don't know how many times I get doing this. But especially the girl, I forgot to mention, she lives in Poland, so when after the girl gets taken, he goes there. That's the reason why, because you know it's easier to shoot over. It's cheaper to shoot over there. So he goes over there. He gets that fight with a couple of guys, and we cut back to Matt Schulze. Oh, because because there was a female cop. I think it was this female cop right here, with Seagal. Like one of the bad Matt Schulze's henchmen shoots the female cop in the shoulder, but he gets away. And when he gets back to Matt Schulze, he tells him what he did, and Matt Schulze has him point the gun to him and saying, "Go ahead, I want to see you do something right. Pull the trigger, right?" But the guy doesn't do that though, so Matt Schulze ends up. This is what made it sound so stupid because how he goes with this guy because he says out of the blue he says this like, my problem with my father was he wasn't too hard he wasn't hard on me, and I'm sitting there going, which that's the end of that scene by the way. And it's making me go, at this point, I'm like, what does it have to do with freaking anything? I mean, what is like, oh, the problem my father was, he wasn't hard on me. What does that have to do with freaking anything? This is confusing as hell. Jeez, cry me. And that's why I'm not yelling, because otherwise everyone's gonna hear me, and I want to hurt my voice. So that's why I'm not yelling and screaming, so. But that only with it was just freaking stupid. So. Pausing. What was I thinking about? Oh, well, eventually, because Steven Seagal goes to this whorehouse, basically, and which is very, very clean. I would say pretty much clean looking for a whorehouse, for I remember. And then the guy gets to shoot out, and then he gets that guy, and then also one thing leads to another, where I guess it's at this plus the bombs the stadium. I forget, but by the time when Jason Statham no, I wasn't referring to that because I was referring to the Transformer, because I mentioned Matt Schulze, he was a bad guy in that film, which I did like, but here he was horrible in this. But ultimately, one thing leads to another, where it leads to Steven Seagal having this sword fight with Matt Schulze. And a lot of times what happens, you see a lot of obvious stunt doubles, and then more bad dubbing from Steven Seagal. And this film is just so freaking boring. And before I get into the film, the film is so freaking boring. Like I said, bad dubbing throughout the whole movie. Obvious stunt doubles, of course. I mean, the whole thing is okay. Like I said, the girl his pen pal is a 13-year-old girl, and Seagal is like 50 or whatever. And get taken. They also it's because also human trafficking. It's just all this stuff is like is pre-Taken, you can say, before Taken came out. So he goes to Poland, you know, and then with a little bit with Matt Schulze, you know, tells that stupid thing that comes out of nowhere where he's supposed to shoot his own guy. It's like, you know, thinking about a problem with my father, he wasn't hard on me, which I'm like, what does that have to do with anything, you know? And then well, ultimately I'm just skipping through because, like I said, film is so boring and it's putting me to freaking sleep here. Snooze fest. And then we get to that sort where, like, is this, you know, right, like right there, this part of the building, or right there, you know. I mean, fights with swords. It's even with obvious stunt double from Steven Seagal, kind of there, you can say. And then, but he has him. And the funny thing is that with Matt Schulze, you know, he has him in a headlock, right? Punches it, like I said, he punches Seagal, and which is funny. Punches him in the stomach, like that's when he gets his weak spot, I guess. When it's funny when Steven Seagal's weakness is his stomach, right? Fancy on me. Yeah, I keep making fun of his weight, but the thing is, though, I have no respect for the guy anymore. Okay, I don't. And then all of a sudden, that Matt Schulze has like a cut over here somewhere and has a bruise under his eye right here. I'm like, how did he get that right? I haven't seen him fully get hit right in the face, you know, that much to cause all that stuff. So that's an error there. Ultimately, then he ultimately takes out Matt Schulze, you know. And then Steven Seagal adopts his pen pal and this boy we've seen throughout the whole movie, and also he also likes bird watching as well because there's this eagle, I think, that passes by, and it freeze frames with a bird, right? Freeze frame, and it comes with a Seagal looking like close to Seagal like this, like smiling. So yeah, like that. Spliced together, and then like, I mean, and he plays one of those agents. Like he plays like a whole bunch of times for all those movies. You know, he always be like an agent of some sort. You know, and this film was just so boring, horrible villain. Like I said, bad dubbing every way. Steven Seagal is absolute, just, you know, he's just absolutely horrible in all these movies. Well, most of them, actually. And like I said, it's just such a great shame. And like I keep mentioning, when he goes from his good films like from Under Siege 1 and 2, on Deadly Ground is not that bad as people make it out to be. I know I love Alfred Justice. I love Under Siege 1 and 2. Fire Down Below is not as bad as people think make it out to be either. I like The Glimmer Man. Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Marked for Death. It's so sad, you know. Good, and he goes to making this shit. Like Foreigner sucked, Out for a Kill sucked, Belly of the Beast sucked, silly. This is getting worse, you know. Especially when it comes to the dubbing, it's even worse in this movie. 9% of the time, it's not even his own voice. Lazy. I mean, and Matt Schulze, he was horrible in this. Good villain in Transporter 1, though, but horrible in this film. So, yeah. Out of reach. Yeah, please keep this out of your reach, you know. Man. It's giving me this. As this film is so boring, it's made me fall asleep, literally. You can see I'm barely trying to move my eyes up. It was literally making me fall asleep because it was that boring. So yeah, just... But hey, like I said, more rants, more fun for you guys to watch, you know. As is like all this, especially it's cheaper to shoot over there because, you know, it's the budget's better over more expensive over here. That's why they're always shooting the like in this like some of the previous ones like it's in Germany or Thailand or whatever, and this one's in Poland. It's easier, it gets cheaper to shoot over there. So, but yeah, that's out of reach. I don't know what I can say. Just Everything about this film sucked. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next movie review. Later.